All right, to the moon. Let's go. So this rocket. I mean, I'll explain. Flies. That's not very reassuring. We got the contract done to test this on the pad, and we were high enough that we can hopefully safely abort if something goes drastically wrong. So these fins control it because these kickbacks don't have gimbal. And this is going to be most of our main first stage. We're going to really try really hard not to like wiggle ourselves to doom because we haven't unlocked struts yet. Okay, so moon plans. So boosters separate. Core stage gets us orbit. Next Terrier stage to the moon, and then this tiny one is like for final descent and ascent. I've sized it perfectly for that. Thing is, I had landing legs, but they didn't fit inside the part count requirement, and we're broke, so we can't unlock more parts. Like, we can't upgrade the VIB to unlock a bigger part requirement limit, so we're going to we're gonna go without landing legs and hope that the reaction wheels are enough. Not that we don't have to get out anyway. Like, we're not really going on this mission for the science. We're going for the funds, because we can safely get further with this current part set, as long as we unlock the facilities necessary to like create bigger craft. So please don't break anything. Fantastic, it didn't break anything. All right, so now I've got to fire that up, and then we're on a good orbital trajectory. So our contracts, we need science data from space around Kerbal. I can just run the thermometer in low orbit, and that'll be enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. Okay, I can run that. It won't get me anything, but when I return this to Kerbal, if I return this to Kerbal, it'll get me the contract. And now if we don't return to Kerbal, we have bigger problems than not completing a contract. So, F is 89, so we should start accelerating now. This should pretty much get us all the way to orbit. And there we are, Houston, we have an orbit. So now we're gonna go to the moon. We're gonna wait until the moon is just over the horizon. And we're going to pretty much try and copy identically the trajectory we had last time, because we actually do want to crash into the moon this time. That is the most efficient landing method, although we don't want to do it at night, so we may still end up in orbit. We do need to orbit when we come back from the moon, because we need to complete a contract to orbit the moon, and that gives the big bucks. We want that money so badly. So this is our next stage here. It's you know, so we have 2 fuel tanks for this LV909, and then we have 1.5 size fuel tank for this upper stage LV909 to make a really short lander so we don't have to use landing legs. I almost time warped past our window. Silly me. And there we are. That should be close enough, and we should have a good mooner trajectory. Right? Okay. We're coming in... Honestly, that's acceptable. So we need a science data from space around the moon. We don't need this science, but we will take it anyway, because contract. Because the only new science we're going to get is from the surface. The only reason I took the second mystery goo was to balance out the first one. Now that I actually see our trajectory, we could go into orbit, so we don't... No, let's not. So this landing is going to... Oh, no, it would be less risky to go into orbit. I've timed it too far, and the efficiency losses would be atrocious. So we have oodles of fuel. We have like way more fuel than we need, so I'm going to slow down early and often, because this stage does not have a lot of thrust. Don't want it too much or we will lose a lot of efficiency, but like the thing is, we don't want to land with this stage attached, and we have so much extra fuel, it's not even funny. Okay. So let's slow down some more. Let's get down to like 200 meters per second. Okay. Now let's continue going downwards a little bit, get this altimeter up. 20 kilometers up. Again, normally if I was coming in a lot more shallow, I'd be a lot more aggressive. But the thing is, since most of my velocity is vertical, I can't afford to do that. And because, you know, I am on the ship, and there's something at stake. Again, whatever the top comment is on video number 1, I will do when I die. So, as long as it's not like anything ridiculous or anything. At 4 kilometers up, I am going to actually seriously think about slowing down now and like maintaining a low velocity. I'm going to maintain 100 meters per second ish before landing, and I'm going to jettison this stage before the final approach. Also, I don't have EVA unlocked yet, so I can't get out unless like I complete enough contracts upon moon landing that I can like go home and unlock the building. Like, how much money do I have? Not very much. I should get a lot the instant that I am too low. I need to fire the engines. Okay. Now let's fire this engine. And I'm even going to lock the staging. I almost never do that, but the staging should be locked. I'm not going to test it. That'd be stupid. But the staging is locked, so if I accidentally press space, it won't stray me. Okay. 10 meters per second. I'm just going to stay at a nice and comfortable 5-ish meters per second. The stakes are so high. Not very, but they are. And touchdown. And we're going to balance. Nice. Maybe. Okay, if I give a limit to 0 for a second, now will we balance? We will balance. Congratulations, me. I've landed on the moon, but I can't set foot here. Which would be a shame, because that would be a lot of science. Log pressure. Too hot thermometer. And collect all. So I can do a quick save. Not that it'll matter, because like I'm dead anyway. So that's all my. Assuming I get home, that's all of those contracts completed, except for the orbiting one. I'm going to. Okay, how much money do we have? Not much. So we're not going to be able to get EVA. Because that's 150,000. Oh, but that's fine. Who needs to walk around anyways? Anyway, goodbye. And there we have it. We've orbited the Mun. Now we can go home. Let's just go home. I don't really have anything else to do here. I am going to collect the other goo, like, because it'll give us a little bit of science. But other than that, there's nothing else that we can do here. And honestly, we're probably going backwards too fast. Oh, never mind. We're actually just about right. We just need to slow down a little bit more. And get our periaptus down to like 25-ish. And we still have a little bit of fuel left to slow down upon atmospheric entry. And there we are, atmospheric entry. Well, let's fire up the engines and return safely, fingers crossed, to Kerbal. Oh, I have staging lock on. Alt L is staging lock. Okay. And there we are. Please don't crash back into me. Please don't crash back into me. Please don't crash back into... Okay, you're not going to crash back into me. You have about the same drag coefficient as I do. Okay. There we are. We're good. And successful touchdown on the surface of Kerbal. Now, it's not a ton of science gain, but it's enough for like 1, maybe 2 more nodes. But that funds... oh, shoot. What am I going to do with those funds? Because the tracking station is really expensive, and I want it to go to Minmus. The astronaut complex is really expensive, and I want it for science. I'll need R&D at some point, and I will need the vehicle assembly building to go beyond Minmus, unless I'm, like, really get good. Orbit Kerbal. Rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit. That gives me... Well, the thing is, I have to have 2 vessels to do that, so that's kind of a non-starter. I'm actually just going to time warp and re-roll those contracts a little bit. Explore Minmus. Fly by Minmus. Return to a Kerbal from flyby of Minmus. Advance 42,000, completion 78,000, plus 120,000. That's enough to get... what's the total value of this contract? 120 plus about 80... 120 plus 120-ish, basically. Actually, no, exactly 120. Wait, no. Yeah, exactly. So 240,000. That's like... it's worth it. How much do I need for, like, other stuff? 240. That's only half of what I need to upgrade with VIB, but that's a good starting spot. I've re-rolled the contracts a few times, and they're all the survey ones, which I don't like doing, or the Mun ones. So I guess I am going to Minmus with the only contract being Explore Minmus. Hold on, but I'll get Worlds first as well. The only question is, what will I... So I need to go to... I need this to go to Minmus. I don't need it, but I pretty much need it. So that hurt. But anyway, in order to go to Duna after this, or anywhere else, what we're going to need to do is we want Astronaut Complex, definitely, because we are missing out on all that science. We're going to miss out on Mun and Minmus that way. And we want Vehicle Assembly Building, because like going to Duna on 30 parts is not going to be fun, although it's doable. Definitely. It's easily doable, just like not doable with a useful, easy to use package. With early tier parts. I'm going to use this to unlock struts, and also, I don't know if I want propulsion systems or fuels. I'm going to use fuel systems. I'll unlock the parts as I need them, and I want to unlock the kickback because my design uses it. Okay, Risk 8, we're going to Minmus, and I slightly redesigned from Risk 7 to have the bigger fuel tanks so I can have 2 more Mystery Goose so I can get more science, and I'm also bringing along a Science Junior. Let's go! And I also like auto-strutted things so it doesn't flop around like spaghetti! Okay, we're in orbit now. Minmus without maneuver nodes. Oh wait, we do have maneuver nodes. I'm not going to use them. Who needs maneuver nodes? And there we are, my lovely minty friend. We are approaching the... I hesitate to call it the best. I almost call it the best moon, which it's a pretty good moon. I'm not going to pick favorites though, you know. Okay, we're still in high space, so we're going to need to get lower to like get the actual science. But that's not going to be a problem since we're in orbit and it's very cheap to maneuver around Minmus. And we're going to have to go lower anyway. So let's try 18 kilometer orbits. That should be good. Let's go retrograde around here. And there we are. Successfully in... Hopefully, this should be low. Yeah, there's no way it's not low. Okay, yeah, we've got low. Near, or space near is probably the proper terminology for it. Let's get the science. Collect all. And go to... So, hold on. We just barely don't have enough... yeah, we just barely do not have enough money to get the astronaut complex upgrade right now. Like, that's one good contract advance. So I'm going to go to the... I don't know. I'm going to go to Mission Control and see if there's any other contracts for us now that we've actually orbited the Minmus. And then if there's not... And if there is, then we can do them. If there's not, then we can't do them, I guess. We'll see. Is there anything we want? No, there's not. Anything at all from Minmus. I will literally time warp forward a few days to see if we can get anything from Minmus. Science data from surface of Minmus. That advance won't get us far in space around Minmus. This advance, oh, we're just $3,000 short. Okay, what else can we do? Okay, well, maybe we can time warp forward for a start. And this decoupler test, that's basically free because we're going to do that eventually, so I will accept that. And then just forget about it until it comes back to bite us. Upgrade astronaut complex. So we are broke now, but we can do EVA science, finally. I don't understand why we can now, because we're like, you know, this ship was launched before we had discovered the technology, and now all of a sudden I kind of walk out the door. Okay, let's go ahead and land here. I would biome hop, but here's the thing. 1, we're almost out of electricity, and 2, I always manage to crash while biome hopping, so I'm going to try and keep my bouncing around here to a minimum. Get it? Minimum. Okay, we still have fuel on this stage, but I don't want to land with it. So I'm gonna I'm gonna ditch that. It's gonna explode, and we're gonna land with just this stubby thing. Oh, it bounced. It didn't even explode. So our plan's already failing. We don't even get any post-landing celebratory fireworks. Oh, and we're going up again. Bunk. Alright, congratulations me, I'm on Mimus.